Hello everyone. So this week I posted a story called Pomelette, and it was a slice of pizza and omelette on top of it. And everybody says, "Oh, what is Pomelette? What is Pomelette?" I thought it's so obvious and self-explanatory that I laughed it off. But then the comments kept coming. So a pomelet, or what I did was this bread that I buy from Wine Ripe Market, and I actually cut it exactly like you would cut pizza slices, and I made my Persian omelette. So in the last few years or so, you've heard of shakshuka, and everybody is like, "Oh, shakshuka." And when I made shakshuka, it's exactly like our own Persian omelette, which I think it's the best breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner in the world, bar none. So I'm gonna make that. So you understood what the crust is? Okay, it's this. It's taftun bread. And now we are gonna get on it. It starts with dicing a shallot really, really, really thinly. And I may or may not use all of it. But you see how thinly I slice it? Like super thin. Okay, so that's our shallots, and that's enough. And I don't mix it necessarily at the same time with my garlic, but I'm gonna do my garlic. And by the way, if you claw your fingers like this, look, I can look at you and cut, because you're not gonna cut your fingers, you just take them back. And then once you cut it like that, this is called the fulcrum method. You just go back and forth. If you don't know how to dice it like children, which I teach children to do this. The more you go, you gather them, bring them back, and cut them with the fulcrum method, which is like this, the tinier they get. Okay, we got this. I don't need it thinner than this. I put this here. I go to my tomatoes. You can use tomatoes, like I never take out this or no. Use your tomatoes. We are at the end of the season, so my tomatoes in the garden are gone. But I have to buy, and these tomatoes are not like fully at their best, but they'll do. One more. And because it's this season and the tomatoes are not what exactly I call it the ripest, I compensate at the stovetop with tomato paste. And here it is. If you don't have peppers, you can always use pepper paste, which I will show also. So this is done. This is done. We're gonna crack our eggs. I like to crack the eggs ahead of time, not at the stovetop, because this way I just drop my eggs. Simplify everything you can simplify in cooking, simplify in cooking. My cooking is not like, 3 Michelin star cooking, it's grandma's cooking. Grandma's cooking. I'm Bibi Kasrai, and I'm your grandma. I could be your grandma. Okay. Now that our mise en place, our setup is done. Oh, let's do one more thing, because I like to add a little bit of, this is my basil, as you see. I like to show you something fancy right when I said I'm not a Michelin star. I'm gonna show you something really cool. I fold this like a Cuban cigar. See how beautiful this is? Okay. So now that we are really set up, we are gonna take it to the stove. So here I have some fat that I have rendered. It can be duck fat, it can be chicken fat. Just make sure that the provenance of your meat is organic and it's good. It's like ghee, it's animal fat. Okay, so if you're vegan or vegetarian, just do olive oil or any kind of oil. Okay, so I have this here. And I first put my shallots, and I don't put anything else for the time being while it's heating. I'm taking my turmeric, my cumin, oh, it's here, right in front of me. My Aleppo peppers, and I'm adding very little. We're layering. Remember, we don't want the tastes to be lost, so we want to layer. And remember, I said I compensate for the tomatoes with tomato paste. That's what I meant. I make a paste out of these guys. At this point, I add my garlic. This has to be done fairly fast. I add my mild pepper because Persians don't do super hot things. So put that. As soon as this is kind of mixed but not burned, you don't want to burn it, I put the water on top, which is the water of the tomatoes. That's why we don't seep them. Okay, I add these. Now I'm sure that everything is going to be mixed really well. It's already a burst of colors. You see how beautiful it is? My pig salt. I put a little bit of salt. It withdraws the juices of the tomatoes. And for a couple of minutes, what do I want to do with the water? I want them to be drawn. I need to give them a little bit of a boost. Okay, you see how the water has come? Now we incorporate more the paste, and I really like the taste of basil. It brings the the fresh herbiness to it all. Okay. It smells so good. It smells, I wish you were here and I could teleport the smell to you. Now, I have a trick that I don't use often, but when the tomatoes are not at their full flavor, I use this trick, and I'm going to show it to you. So the Persian omelette doesn't need cream. It's just this and the eggs. But when the tomatoes are not fully ripe, I add a little bit. Oh, this is Picasso here. I add a little bit of cream, and it takes the super tartiness, if there is any. You see, just make it a little bit colorful and creamy, and we are almost about to add the eggs. Voila, the reveal. Okay, so you see, they are all soft, and people ask me always, oh, Bibi June, you put the skin in it, and yeah, I put the skin, I put everything. The skin of the tomato is not your enemy, trust me. So this is it, and now I just dump my egg, literally, that's why I put it in here, and I break everything. The It's so much fun. Do this with your kids. Do on, you know, your day off, and have the kids involved in this and tell them, oh, I'm gonna do a pizza with protein for you guys. So the bread is really good. It's whole wheat, and this is filled. Eggs are good again. You know, they told us for so many years, oh, eggs are bad for your cholesterol. So eggs have done a comeback. So you can have eggs again. And when it gets really to your desired thickness, just keep doing that from the sides. When it gets to your desired thickness, I want to do a pomelette, a pizza, so I like it at this consistency, but in order to do what I want to do, I give it 2 more seconds. Voila, I bring everything from the sides to the fourth. There we go. That's it. This part is done. Oops, that's why you should wear an apron. Okay. You see, this is how I'm gonna do the pomelette for the guy here behind camera who you never see. He does this for me from the bottom of his heart. Kirk is coming on Saturdays, does this, and guess what? I pay him with food. No, he's really just doing this because we loved working with each other on the Happy-to-List series during COVID. And now this is like our playtime together. So this, you can do this, or this is my arugula I have grown here next to the kitchen sink, basically. And remember the oil we made a couple of weeks ago? Take this. Generous amount. We want to soak the bread up with it. Do you like this? Ah, I forgot to put that. So you can decorate it with anything you want, really. Put anything you want on top of it. You can put bacon as far as I'm concerned. So this is the oil we made a couple of 2 weeks ago, I think. I taught you how to make your own cilantro and basil oil. How about starting your weekend with this? Voila.